What is ISO? The International Organization for Standardization, ISO, is known as a documented agreement containing technical specifications or other precise criteria to be used consistently as a rule, guideline, or definition of characteristics to ensure that materials, products, processes, and services are fit for their purposes. ISO is the word derived from Greek isos, which means equal. International standards give specifications for products, services, and good practices to make industry more efficient and effective. This organization develops standardization in all technical and non-technical fields. History and objective. ISO was established on 23rd of February 1947 and based in Geneva, Switzerland. ISO 14001 Environmental Management Systems Requirements with Guidance for Use, which published in 1996, imitates the ever-fluctuating and rising outlooks for consumers, citizens, regarding business environments or performance. The objective of this standard is to minimize the negative impacts toward the environment. ISO 9001 Quality Management Systems Requirements was published in 1987, which set out the requirements of a quality management system. The objective of this standard is to provide guidance and tools for companies and organizations who want to ensure that their business, products, and services constantly meet the customers' requirement and to improve the quality consistently. ISO 45001 Occupational Health and Safety was published in March 2018. The objective of this standard is to reduce the occupational injuries and diseases, including promote.
For ISO 14001, the organization must identify both internal and external problems that are pertinent to its goals and have an impact on its capacity to implement an effective environmental or quality management system. These concerns must include environmental factors that are affecting or have the potential to affect the organization. An interested party is someone who can influence, is influenced by, or believes they are affected by an organization's environmental performance in the context of this ISO 14001 standard. In ISO 9001, anyone who can affect, is affected by, or thinks they are affected by a decision or activity is considered an interested party. Internal context of an organization consists of its values, culture, expertise, and performance. External context includes social, cultural, legal, technological, regulatory, and competitive environments. Information that needs to be regulated and preserved, as well as media it is supported by, is called documented information. Lastly, in ISO 45001, internal and external influences can also include how laws, technological advancements, and even political, cultural, and social changes, regardless of their local, regional, national, or international origins, might affect the organization's mission. It is necessary to specify the OH&S management system scope, including whether workplaces are part of the office or administration, plant, or factory. In accordance with the criteria of ISO 45001, a business must set up, implement, maintain, and continuously improve an OH&S management system. The scope of what an organization controls or influences must be included in the system once the scope has been established. This includes the activities, goods, and services that have the potential to affect the performance of the system. For Clause 4, which is about the context of organization, it has divided into 4. For point 1, it is about understanding the organization and its context, where the organization shall determine external and internal issues that happen. For ISO 14001, it is relevant to its purpose and that affect its ability to achieve the intended outcomes. For ISO 9001, it is relevant to its purpose and its strategic direction and that affect its ability to achieve the intended results. For ISO 45001, it is relevant to its purpose and that affect its ability to achieve the intended outcomes. For Clause 4.2, it is about understanding the needs and expectations of workers and other interested parties, where the parties shall determine. For ISO 14001, it is relevant to the environmental management system. ISO 9001 relevance to the quality management system, and ISO 45001 is relevant to the OH&S management system. Next, 4.3 is to determine the scope of the environmental management system, where the organization shall consider few things. ISO 14001 focuses on its organizational units, functions, and physical boundaries. ISO 9001 only focuses on the products and services of the organizations, while ISO 45001 takes into account the plan and or perform work-related activities. Lastly, in Clause 4.4, which is OH&S management system, the organization shall establish, implement, maintain, and continually improve on their specific management system, whereby ISO 14001 is environmental management system, ISO 9001 on quality management system, and lastly ISO 45001 on OH&S management system.
Hi, my name is Abdul Samad. Today I'm gonna present the difference between ISO 14001, ISO 9001, and ISO 55001 in terms of ISO family, the purpose, target group, focus, advantage, and also the number of certificate issues. Firstly, we're going to look at ISO 14001. ISO 14001 comes from the ISO family of ISO 14000, which is environmental management. The purpose of ISO 14001 to governs environmental management system, or known as EMS. The target group of this ISO is any business that want to minimize the impact on the environment, improve its efficiency, and reassure employees, customers, stakeholders of its commitment to sustainability. The focus of this type of ISO is to achieving purpose environmental objective. It has a few advantages, which includes increase efficiency, maximize resources, and also minimize environmental effect. Until 2020, there is more than 400,000 certificates of ISO 14001 had been issued, all in 171 countries, which make it has a high number of certificates issued. Next, we're moving on to the ISO 9001. ISO 9001 comes from the ISO family of ISO 9000, which is quality management. The purpose of ISO 9001 is to govern quality management system, or known as QMS. The target group of this ISO is any business that wants to make the commitment to deliver a consistently high quality products with a culture of continuous improvement. Besides that, it has a focus of achieving purpose quality objective. And then there is a few advantage of ISO 9001, which includes improved processes, produce consistent high quality goods and services, and also ensure customer satisfaction. Until 2020, there is more than millions certificate had been issued in in over 195 countries. Lastly, we moving on to the ISO 45001. ISO 45001 come from the family of ISO 45000, which is occupational health and safety. The purpose of ISO 45001 is to govern occupational health and safety, or OHS management system. The target group of this ISO is any business that want to proactively improve the mental, physical, and emotional health and safety of its staff, minimize workplace injuries and illnesses, and also increase the profitability through reduced downtime and stoppage. The focus of this ISO to achieving the purpose OHSMS objective, and there is also a few advantages from this ISO, which includes minimize workplace risk, proactively improve health and safety, and maximize workplace efficiencies. Until 2020, there is more than 100,000 of certificate had been issued in in over 169 countries. So I had compiled all of the information that I had explained in all the three ISO just now in a table, so that we could see and compare all of the difference of the three type of ISO in terms of ISO family, the purpose, and the focus. Besides that, this is the the difference and comparison of all the three type of ISO in terms of target group, advantage, and also number of certificate issued.
Hi, I am Crystal Rudang Agan, and today I will be talking about the similarities between the three ISOs, which is ISO 14001, ISO 9001, and ISO 45001. We all know that the three ISOs are different, but then they have significant similarities which complements each other. The three ISOs has different differences, but then it has significant similarities which complements each other, and it can be integrated with other high-level structured standards. For example, the ISO 9001 helps organizations meet regulatory requirements to provide customer satisfaction and quality products and services. For the ISO 14001, helps organizations prove their commitment to environmental sustainability by reducing industrial waste and environmental damage. ISO 45001 helps organizations provide objective proof to staff, partners, clients, and stakeholders that ensures health and safety is at the core of the business. As I said earlier on, these three ISO has significant similarities which complements each other. By that, I mean, while planning the ISO 9001, all actions must address ISO 9001 risks and opportunities. And while planning the ISO 14001, all actions must address ISO 14001 risks and opportunities. While planning the ISO 45001, all actions must address ISO 14001 risk and opportunities. The three ISOs, ISO 9001, ISO 14001, and ISO 45001, can be used by all organizations. For example, small businesses and multinationals across the industry. ISO 9001, ISO 14001, and ISO 45001, they create and documented information for future use and references. This is one of the similarities between the three ISOs. Besides that, the performance evaluation between these three ISOs includes monitoring, measuring, and analysis. The focus of the three ISOs are continual improvements.
As a conclusion, ISO 14001, ISO 9001, and ISO 45001 are under integrated management system which successfully saves operational activities such as time and resources, reduces effort, and increases a systemic method. The integrated management system of ISO 14001, ISO 9001, and ISO 45001 offers the organization involves improvement of what business they are in and enhances a strategic technique. That's all for our group's presentation. So, in this assignment, we use 10 references as stated in the slide. Thank you.